Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cross Blitz, a roguelike deck builder. It's been a while since I've recorded a video, but I've decided that since I'm on my semester break right now, I might record a couple of episodes. This time I'm gonna do the roguelike mode. I've played through the campaign on my own time. And I think I'm just gonna do a couple of dailies. So we got weekly hunts and daily hunts, and we got a couple of modifiers to run. In this case, after turn 8, shuffle a bomb into your deck each turn. So we kind of want a deck that's as fast as possible to finish the fight before we start piling up bombs, because that's a card that deals damage to us when we draw it. All relic nodes are relic caches instead, so we got some free relics, so this is a positive, and we also start the run with 300 gold. So lots of opportunities to buy cards and trinkets, because we don't have to spend any money on relics either. And we play with Admiral Brass, the pirate deck, so that's pretty good, because the pirate decks tend to be pretty fast paced, so the Juggler's Mask shouldn't be an issue. Our starting cards are Admiral Brass, of course. That's the signature card of this deck. Tough, after you play a pirate minion, give it +1 power and rush. So you kind of play it on turn 5, and on turn 6 you have a bunch of pirate minions that you play who immediately attack with increased power and kill the enemy. That's kind of the idea behind this card, although in a lot of cases it's not that useful unless you specifically build around it. We get a Buccaneer, 1/1 tough, so kind of stats are on par with the mana cost. But it wins out against most other 1/1s because it takes 1 less damage, so it just positively trades with other 1-mana minions. Sea Shanties, that's some draw, that's pretty good. Draw a pirate card from the deck. If you control a pirate, draw 2. So it should almost always be draw 2 for 2 mana, which is pretty important if you want to go fast. And we got the Brown Tooth, death add a random pirate minion to your hand. Also pretty good. Also some more card advantage. Stats are as you'd expect them to be. Kind of helps you to prepare for the big Admiral Brass turn. And now for the ultimate, each boss, each faction has 2 possible ultimates, so let's see what we got. Red doing great. Okay, that is my preferred one for Admiral Brass. It's when you summon 8 pirate minions, you deal damage equal to the number of pirate minions you control to all enemies. So it's pretty nice because it is some more damage to the face, but it also clears the board on your big pirate turn. So all of these rush minions that you get with Admiral Brass, or just play outright, shouldn't have any minions that stand in your way. You'll see that this is going to be lane-based combat. If you have played Inscryption, you should be kind of familiar with it. So, pretty good setup. Not my favorite setup for Admiral Brass. I kind of miss the, if we go to the tavern and look at the possible cards we have, kind of miss the Cutlass Swine. That's kind of the strongest card in this deck, in my opinion. One of the strongest cards in the game. Rush Dual Strike, just immediately plant some damage to the face. You can buffer as well, and each strength buff counts twice because of Dual Strike, and that can lead to some very, very quick and easy victories. And Rigbeak is also pretty good to reduce the cost of pirate minions, especially if you have card advantage through Brown Tooth and Sea Shanty, and there's also Barrel Mud, drawing cards every turn. But it should be fine. We can find those cards during the run as well. So before you go into a run, you can ban certain relics and trinkets. Relics power up your run overall. Trinkets power up specific cards. So I haven't played in a bit, so I'll just remove all of them first and then just look. So evolve a random minion. Don't want to do that because I don't want to change my minions into other minions, especially not if I buff them, because you don't keep the buffs. Pirate minions cost 1 more. I'm going to turn that off because I play basically only pirates. Death dice. I never play with death dice because that's just RN, giving your run to RNGesus and hoping for the best. I'm gonna turn off some neutral relics I don't particularly like, just to increase the chance of seeing faction-specific relics. I have 6 more bans available. I'm gonna pause the recording real quick, just to have a moment to think. Okay, I'm done with the bans. I think the most notable one that I added is Cursed Pearl. After a pirate minion dies, revive it as a doomed recruit, so you have some more jump blockers when your units die. But since I want to be very aggressive, I don't really want to see this relic, because it is also one of the faction-specific relics for Admiral Brass, and the other one, most factions have 2. It's this one here, Red Wing Flag. Your pirate minions have +1 power, and I'd much rather see this one. And then trinkets should be a lot faster. I think that's pretty much good. I always remove this one, summon a random 2-cost minion, just because there are it's a rare trinket and there are better rare trinkets out there. Spiked Helmet and Rune of Calling are both things that increase the mana cost for not that much gain. Lifesteal increases the mana cost by a lot for a lot of gain, but I don't really want to make my units more expensive. And then Thorns and Health, again, both are kind of defense upgrades, and I want to go on the offense as much as possible. So I'm good here as well. Right, let's see what are... Ooh, got a 50k on the leaderboard, so it seems like there's quite a lot of potential in this run. I don't know if I'm gonna go that high. I don't think there's a way to see what boss I'm fighting, or rather which map we are playing on, so I'll just have to jump right in. And okay, it's what is it? The most recently added one, the like forest theme Sproutwood map. Our boss is Brewfizz. It's a bit of an annoying boss. He can get a lot of armor, so might be hard to take down, and then can damage us as well. Let's see our events. Events are usually some of the biggest and most consistent power spikes you can get, besides relics, which you are guaranteed to see anyway, and some trinkets for some cards. They also give a lot of points in the daily runs. In particular, this I don't know all of the events, but I believe that this one can give us a relic that gives us lives. Oh no, it gives us thorns, and then we can make those thorns permanent. And then, is there a puzzle fight? There is a puzzle fight. That is a fight where we don't actually have to play with a regular deck, but we have to solve the puzzle. And that is the combo I always look out for on this map, because on this kind of froggy looking thing you can get a relic that gives your minions +4 thorns and also makes the thorns permanent. So usually thorns just increase your attack on the defense, but instead you'll be able to have them on offense and defense. And the puzzle fight on this map gives you a relic that makes your thorn minions have lifesteal. So if I knew that beforehand, I would not have banned the thorns trinket. I might have to keep that in mind in future runs, but unfortunately you don't see the map until you actually start it. Right, enough talk. I'm gonna go into the first battle now. I'm gonna fight the dinosaur friend. So, how do things work? Yeah, I should. No, I'll keep that actually, because I don't have a rush minion, so I might need to have that in the back pocket to overwhelm the enemy. So we got a score, and we got this little X1 here. That is our score multiplier. So basically, everything you do in the run, getting cards, getting trinkets, going to event nodes, defeating enemies, defeating elites, will give you a score, and the amount of score will be determined by the multiplier right here. And there are two ways to increase that multiplier, either by having a flawless victory, where you end with the same amount of HP that you started with or more. I specifically phrased that as I did, because you can take damage if you heal it back. All that matters is that the final number here doesn't go lower. So that is why I said that lifesteal is quite nice in a daily run, because that's one way to ensure those flawless victories for a higher multiplier. And the other one is to gain 10 or more overkill damage. So our enemy has 5 HP. If we bring him down to 1, for example, and deal 11 damage, that's 10 points of overkill. That also increases our multiplier. Admiral Brass is pretty good at doing that, usually because of the Cutlass Swine, that 3 mana 2/1 with dual strike rush that I showed you earlier. We don't have that here, unfortunately, and all of our minions are like either 1 strength or 2 strength. We can make them up to 3 strength with Admiral Brass, but I don't think I'll be able to get overkill in this run. So I'll just play a 1/1. I should be safe in terms of getting flawless for the next round, because our opponent will have 2 mana, 1 mana because it's turn 1, and a 1 time +1 mana bonus because they go second. So at most they can play 2 minions, and we can defend against both of them. So now to the combat. See, we got those lanes. Minions always attack what's in front of them. If there's nothing in front of them, they will attack the hero. And combat goes from left to right, from both perspectives. So it's like this lane, this lane, this lane, this lane. And for the opponents, it's this lane, this lane, this lane, this lane. Because for the opponent, this is the leftmost column. So I will block both lanes to keep flawless. And yeah, you can see those tough minions really nice at just staying on the board, keeping any damage away from you in the first couple of turns and chipping into the hero as well. We have enough mana to both draw a card, and we still have a minion to block our lane. Okay, so now he starts playing minions with overgrow, so these spawn multiple minions at once. They can be a problem in daily runs if you want to keep your flawless victory, but fortunately they are 2 mana, so we can start playing them immediately. And, let's see. Right now, this goes to 1 damage. So, yeah, I don't see a way of making big overkill happen, so I'm just gonna play out brown tubes. And yeah, looks like we'll get 2, 4, 5 points of damage in against the hero. That's -4. Actually, I forgot about the ultimate. I might have been able to get, although now you can't really get that overkill with the ultimate, because if you kill the enemy with it, then it's never more than 8 points of damage, because you deal damage equal to the amount of pirates you have, and you can only have up to 8 pirates on the board. So, our first card reward, they have reworked the card reward system recently, so now the way you do it is you have like a couple of bundles, and you can choose any number of cards within the bundle. So I could take all 3 of those, I could remove some of them, but I can't mix and match. See, it won't let me like just add from multiple bundles at once. And they usually have some kind of connection, like either faction-wise, so this is called pirate parties because it's all party-related minions. War, that's just red in general. There are 4 colors, and each color has like sub-factions or some specific type of cards. So here we got some removed cards. For this one, I quite like this card reward, some grog and plated grunt. So this gains armor and draws a card. Of course, it's not card positive here in terms of draw, just replaces itself, but there are trinkets. There is a trinket that can add card draw, which would make this a pretty nice card, but also getting armor means that we are more likely to preserve our flawless victories. It's also a pretty good option to play on turn 1, because I'd kind of like to keep my minions in the hand on turn 1 so I can block any lane that's threatened. And yeah, plate grunt also just some extra armor. Can be pretty good if we buff up its stats, which we might do. So I'll just take all 3 of those. Now we get to choose a mercenary companion. So that's like a secondary faction. And they, in a recent update, made it so that you can just leave if you don't want to dilute your deck, just want to focus on your own faction. But in exchange for adding those extra cards, you will actually get some money and either meta progression currency as well in the normal roguelike mode, or extra points in the daily. Although those 400 extra points won't matter that much in the end. So we have Abraxas, which is a discard type of deck. You can see the bonus we get depends on this difficulty modifier, 2 skulls, 3 skulls, and there's 1 skull as well, kind of measuring the compatibility between the decks. I don't know what criteria are used exactly, like whether it's like keywords or like kite tops, like those are dragon cards, and here we got pirate cards, but I would say that most of them seem rather accurate. Like, the discard deck is quite difficult to combine with that rush-down pirate deck. This one is kind of... yeah, this is okay. There's also a type of overwhelm deck like Zoo, like you spawn a bunch of rupees then we get Sprouthouse, which are built around this reach, this archer mechanic, where they can deal damage without retaliation from the enemy. You might have seen in the comment before, whenever a minion attacks, they also receive damage equal to the enemy minion's power stat in return, so they might just die themselves. These don't do that, but they can't retaliate in return. So we do have a lot of money because of the daily bonus, so we are not exactly required to pick up a mercenary for the money bonus, which I usually like to do just to afford more relics and more trinkets. However, I mentioned that one event node where we get thorns and like +4 thorns, and thorns are permanent versus trinkets, which I really like. However, getting all of these trinkets is very expensive, and you can see that those mercenaries have certain traits. Like our leader has empathetic and adventurous, and those traits influence what you can do at certain events. And I know that at this particular event node, aggressive gives you a discount for those trinkets, because you basically intimidate the guy into giving you a discount. So I kind of want to pick up either Abraxas or Core. So this one gives us a slightly bit more gold. Bruteskin Ancient, a 2/2 with Tough and Barrier. That's actually just a generically very good card, because it's extremely tanky for a 2-mana card, takes less damage, negates 1 instance of damage. Just, you can basically add it to any deck for the value. This one, 2/2 for 1 mana, so above curve stats, because it has a quote-unquote downside, discards a random card. Of course, the deck is built around gaining benefits from discarding cards, so it's kind of a trade-off. It would be mostly a detriment in our deck. And Soulskin Ancient, after you discard a card, gain +1/+1. Don't really like this card, not even when playing with Abraxas itself, just because it is kind of slow. You usually play a lot of your discard minions on turn 1 and 2, just because they are either 1 mana or 2 mana, and so once you get to Soulskin Ancient, you won't have that many discard minions in hand, and even more so when you combine this deck with something else. So if I pick up Abraxas, I want to remove Soulskin Ancient pretty quickly. I also might want to remove Tining Ancient as well. We are kind of a combo heavy deck, not yet, but this is what I don't know Brass tends to do. Have a bunch of pirates, give each other bonuses, play them all on one turn, and so if we start discarding random combo pieces, that's not particularly good. Then Abraxas herself, the hero, gains stats for discarding cards over the course of the run, which if we remove this, we would also want to remove this because we wouldn't have any discard engine, so kind of 2 campfire removes. That is, at campfire you can remove all copies of a particular card and then 1 shop remove. We only get 1 hero card and the shop gives us single removes, but still that's 3 nodes I kind of have to plan around. I don't remember if the map allows for that, but yeah, that all kind of means I'm leaning away from Abraxas and towards core, which adds like nothing that particularly synergizes with Admiral Brass, but also nothing that interferes with it. They kind of just have their own thing going on. I'm probably gonna want to remove those 1/1s because I have better 1/1s already, but yeah, I can keep this as just a jump blocker with barrier, and then maybe have some Great Sprout archers behind that play as well. Again, I kind of want to get that aggressive trade. We could also reroll. We have 3 rerolls per run, but I want to keep those for trinkets and or relics, especially after boss fights and elite fights. Like you can use them on card rewards as well, and those card rewards are gonna have trinkets if you've beaten a particularly hard enemy. So that's a pretty good opportunity to reroll. So let's pick core. And yeah, if we want to go here, we have to fight Grimkin. That might actually hurt our chances to get flawless because Grimkin has some rush minions. So maybe if you want to go for like the big 50k run, you might want to avoid this, but for today I'm not going to be that ambitious. And we got a very interesting relic choice. After you play an archer, give it +1 health and guard. So guard reduces damage your hero takes by half. Very good in a regular run if you just want to win. Not that good in a daily run because you kind of want to avoid damage to your face altogether, unless you have some good source of lifesteal, which we will have eventually, but not right now. And then, of course, some more survivability for your archers is also nice. But mostly I'm looking at Red Wing Flag and Sly Gloves. Red Wing Flag, your pirate minions have +1 power, so this is stronger, this is stronger, this is stronger. Any other pirates we pick up are stronger. Just generically good. Makes it easier to overkill, or the first card you play from another faction each turn costs 2 less. That's a neutral relic. You could get it on any hero, any combination of heroes, and it's really good. Another faction means a color other than the one you started with. So our red minions, that's our starting faction. Even if we pick up like red cards that are non-pirates like this one, those are still the faction. The other faction would be the archers over here. They would all cost 2 less, at least the first one we play each turn. That's an extremely strong neutral relic. Just tuning out cards way sooner than you should be able to. Like for example, those dual strike archers are gonna be like 4 damage turn 2, we can play those for free. So we might want to pivot away from pirates and try out some archer things. So the Thorns relic I keep talking about is a epic relic, which right now are only so you see those cards have rarities, like it's this little gem in the lower right corner. Here it's gray, that's a common. Here it's blue, that's an uncommon. Here it's purple, that's epic, and the yellow ones are legendary. And whenever you equip trinkets, those are like power-ups for the cards, you have a certain rarity requirement to do that. And one of the trinkets I'm gonna encounter in one of the nodes is gonna have an epic requirement, which right now that's either plated grunt or admiral brass. So I would wish we would have an archer. We could put that on, but I guess we don't really have a pirate minion we want to put that on either right now, so maybe that doesn't matter that much. I'll try it out. I mean, we don't have to totally abandon red cards altogether. We can still put that on the plated grunt over here. So yeah, let's fight Grimkin. Second fight should also be not that big of a deal. We got a 1, we got a 2. I'm just gonna throw out. Well, actually, maybe I want to keep 1 for turn 3 as well. Have a lot of 1/1s, so. Right. And just immediate. So this extra mana you get for going second, can save it up for later turns. I'm just gonna spend it right now. And yeah, this is kind of what I was worried about. We just kind of get our faces smashed by those Grimkins. We don't have any health recovery right now, so probably not gonna get Boris. We might get overkill though. That's actually something I didn't think about, but this archer faction should also be very good at getting overkill because of the hero call. Double the power of all friendly archer minions until next turn. So if you have a couple of archers, you can very easily get them beefed up to a point where they can just completely overkill that enemy. And so this is a 2 that we can play for free, and then we can play a 1, and then we can play another 1. This makes archer minions behind it stronger. This is an archer minion, so I'll do that. This will now block both of these guys. So we can have this one power up in the meantime. And then I'm just gonna draw a card. There we get some more Grimkins. And I will block both of these Grimkins over here. And then this one is guaranteed to have free range to shoot the enemy hero in the face, because the enemy can't place anything on those occupied lanes. Pretty neat trick to keep in mind. because if we play this over here, for example, the enemy might block that minion, but he can't block this. Those will both die by the Buccaneer after the enemy has played that turn. Right now we are dealing 3 for actually I think we are actually already lethal, huh? Yeah, that's 1, that's +2, that's 2. We don't have anything to remove our own minions. That's something you want to do sometimes in a daily run, just to delay the enemy's death and wait for overkill, but yeah, we don't have that option, so I guess we'll just have to take the win without any additional multiplier. And so now, ooh, I like what I see here. So we have Pirate Party. This card I talked about earlier. It reduces the cost for pirate minions. Really good card if you're going for a pirate deck, but we kind of want to lean into green cards now. This gives you a cannon and a Rigby. Cannons deal damage when you summon pirates. Don't really like this card, even though it gives you a Rigby, just because it is kind of slow. And Barrel Mud draws you extra pirates. Also really good card. We got removal, so this is pretty nice. For 1, if we play our archer hero, it's gonna be 8-1. Just some straight up deal 6 damage for 4 mana. It's alright. Just some burn. Hot shot. Also, it's alright. No, 1 mana, remove some small minion. But what I'm really looking at is this one here. Grog, we already know. Pirate's Creek being a pirate minion. That's kind of like Discover in Hearthstone. You see 3 cards, pick one. Serene Herb. That's a ramp card. Draw, increase maximum mana by 1. And because we have the Sly Gloves, this just costs 1, so we can start ramping on turn 1, which is insane. I have had a couple of runs with Serene Herb and Sly Gloves, and it has always turned out great. So I'm glad I picked that up. I'm gonna remove Pirate's Creed. There are non-red pirates this might show us, which will get reduced by Sly Gloves, so we can keep it, but again, we're kinda leaning into archers, and I don't want to dilute my deck with this. I will pick the Grog though. Just we already have a couple of those, and it will be my first target for a spell upgrade. Also, picking cards does give us points. Then go over here, and yeah, it says stop aggressive. So let's get a discount at his trinket shop. We could also request a challenge, which is actually, if you really want to maximize points in a daily run, kind of almost always want to seek out events with an extra fight and take the extra fight to get a higher multiplier. But yeah, for now I'm just fine with taking the trinket, so can put +4 some kind of epic or legendary minion. I do wonder. by default, Thorns probably will not make an archer do anything. At least by the way it's worded, because the archer says does not retaliate, and the Thorn says that it increases the character's retaliation damage. So because they use the same words, I imagine that that Thorns are not like a separate instance of damage that you can give an archer so that they actually do some retaliation damage. I have seen Thorns be counted separately for certain cards, but they are worded differently, so I assume if I give this Thorns, then I will not be able to suddenly get retaliation damage on that guy. However, I am still considering it, so we do that, and then we have this minion's Thorns are always active as well, so then it's just +4 damage spread out over 2 trinkets. Reason why is because we have the ability double the power of all friendly archer minions next turn. That includes himself, so he's gonna be a 16 damage minion, which should easily be able to get some overkill damage whenever he's on the board. And our alternative otherwise would be the plated grunt, which is also fine. But we have to think about like what kind of cards do we want to copy, and I don't really want to copy plated grunts. I'd rather have more cores, just so we can ensure those big overkill turns more consistently. So I will give this +4 thorns. Each trinket makes the next one more expensive by 50. Those 50 do not get discounted by our event choice. So usually this trinket costs 40. Because of the event choice it costs 20, but it still gets the +50 penalty from already having a trinket, which is why it's so the penalty is why it's usually so expensive to get multiple trinkets, and why I wanted to opt in for an aggressive minion can give us that discount. And then summon Fickle Roots in front of this. I think there is actually an archer minion that gains damage equal to thorns of a minion in front of it. I don't know if it had to be a specific faction, but if not, I imagine this to be a really good trinket for that one. So I might want to try that out on a archer run on this map later on, because those Fickle Roots, that's a 2/2 with thorns. We don't want to put it on Vanguard Tactician, because we want to put things behind it, so we always want to put it in the front lane. We don't want to put it on any archer really, not that we could, because we always want to have the option to have it buffed by Vanguard Tactician, so by process of elimination. This means I kind of want to put it on like a pirate minion or other red card. We could put it on Brown Tooth, or we could put it on Buccaneer. In terms of cards I want to remove, I am actually probably still gonna axe the Sprouts Veil Archer, just because even if it's buffed up by the Vanguard Tactician, it's kind of much rather put Quick Sprout Archers behind it, and for the early turns to block, I'd much rather play Buccaneers. And do I still play Brown Tooths? So I think I want to spread out like the blocking duty a little bit. As in, this already takes care of one once very neatly. So I make this one better taken care of one once. Although this is probably the next one on the chopping block after the Sprout's Veil Archer. Yeah. And I have more Buccaneers than Brown too, so I think I'm gonna put this on here. And then we have a choice between another event and Campfire. Campfires can remove cards, duplicate cards, or heal us. Do not want to heal, almost never. Events do give a lot of points for dailies, but our multiplier isn't that high yet, so I don't really care about that. I really didn't pick a good path, I see, for getting a high multiplier, because this is essentially just a bigger version of this. I think this also has, yeah, someone like Rookie behind this. This can also give us the lifesteal relic, from what I remember. So I would really like to go to a Campfire to get a duplicate of this, and so that I can use other Campfires to remove cards. But I think if I do want to work on my score at least a little bit, so I think we're gonna opt for the relic shop just to get lifesteal and heal back our potential health loss because of rush minions. We can get gold, we can get a discount at the relic shop because of charismatic. Very nice choice of a minion, 2 discounts in a row. I did not know that charismatic is a discount option here. So yeah, I will not take the free money. I came here for the relic, so I will look at the relic. And yeah, there it is. Your minions with thorns have lifesteal. And then we have, after friendly minion is attacked and destroys the attacker, restore 3 health to it. So that's pretty nice with like big thorn minions. So if we put the thorns on the... well, the Blighted Worm doesn't really have any HP to speak of. I can definitely see decks where this is a good relic. This is a really good... actually, I'm seeing this as an Elder Relic. As an Elder Relic, I don't really like this. In case you don't know, you have 1 Elder Relic slot and 3 Common Relic slots. Elder Relic are like run-defining relics that are really powerful, but you can only get 1 of them. And common relics have minor bonuses, usually minor, although sometimes if you build around them, they can be really major. Like this one, for example. That gives us lifesteal. But yeah. This is really strong for any type of deck that doesn't play a lot of minions. Just passively chip down enemy minions if you wanna scale without being rushed down by a bunch of 1 mana and 2 mana minions. Probably gonna eventually get to the deck that I really like to play this with. But that's not for us, that's not for us either. So I am going to leave. And then I'm going to fight the elite. And I'm almost tempted to hard mulligan for or legendary, just because that is kind of a win condition. I will keep 1 Buccaneer in hand, just to have a guaranteed turn 1 and some guaranteed healing as well. So didn't find it, but that's okay. I am going to gain armor, which will actually protect us against the rush minion, and then we can also scout for what the enemy will do. And It's unfortunate the enemy decided to spread out his minions. We prefer it if he plays it in one lane, because we have one Buccaneer to absorb that. Okay, very cool. We found our win con. So do we play the Buccaneer? I think we just do. We're not that concerned about saving the healing for later, because we do have it in hand, and we also have some armor right now. So yeah, there comes the rush minion. No Vanguard Tactician to block this one. So I think I'm just gonna block it with a Brown Tooth. And don't really want to throw away a minion for nothing here. I'll just see if I can maybe bait the enemy into attacking this lane. We will lose our armor. That's okay, because we're still on full health. Enemy give us a yellow-footed poly. That's a okay card to have. It gives us up to 2 yellow toe jams. That's the card that evolves a minion. Evolve is a keyword that makes enemy minions into cheaper minions, aka usually weaker minions, and our minions into more expensive minions, aka what are meant to be stronger minions. Although that's kind of debatable, because most of the time it will be some like random ass combo piece you can't use, that might even have subpar stats because of its ability that's supposed to balance the stats. So I don't like evolve on our own minions, but we can use it to devolve enemy minions. So I'll probably just play that. I think that's a 2-mana. Yeah, that is a 2-mana by default, so we will have enough to play a quick spout arch as well. And then the next turn we can play core. And it should just get. Should be pretty close to defeating the enemy. I will play it in the backline just in case we draw a Vanguard. Okay, he removes it. That's unfortunate. He might have more of those. That's. I think that is 6 damage. That spell, yeah, it is 6. Where is it? Feral Claw. Yeah. Deal 2 damage to an enemy 3 times. So if he has more of these, he would kill our hero. That would be quite unfortunate. Also, don't want to play this just yet, because if we deal 16 on the next turn, it will not have 10 overkill. I'll just play Admiral Brass, maybe bait out the spell. Play a Vanguard. Yeah, there it is. Right, I'm just gonna hope that this was it. He has more than... well, we'll probably not get our overkill. But if we keep waiting, we might risk it. He draws another one, so... He only has 3 cards in hand. Yeah, 18 damage. And he's at 3. And yeah, I think we get 2 extra combo points here. Because as we just saw, this is gonna be an 18. So I guess this means that the +2 from Vanguard will not be included in the core bonus, even though she should activate before core. So I guess this just doubles base power. That's interesting to know. I can get some more overkill damage for some extra points by putting a Rush Pirate out. I might even be able to squeeze in even more if this happens to be a... oh, yeah. It actually got stronger by devolving. Yeah, Evolve is an interesting mechanic, but I guess the base cost of that card, which is what Evolve keyword will use, is actually quite high. But still have all the damage in the world. And each damage is 1 arrow, so 18 arrows, minus 20, 2.4k. Very good. And if we lost any health, which we didn't anyway, we would have healed right back. Ooh, that's a fun one. So this trinket doubles stats on play. Not the best target, this one here. So we got the Cutlass Wine, but it is kind of late because we are going for the archers. I do like what I'm seeing over here, though. I do like what I'm seeing over here, though. So here we have Ironbark Marksman. After an enemy minion enters this column, attack. So it can just keep a lane clear. And it has Hothead, so it attacks immediately. Which means that it can clear a lane immediately as well. So I really like this one. Another Quick Sprout Archer, we know this one. Let's just... oh, we already have one. We only have 1 copy of this one. Interesting. And then... Vanguard. Warcry. Force all Archer minions to hack. Kind of like having that. If the enemy has a lot of HP left, we have core on the field, we can have core attack twice in a single turn. Don't like the trinket attached to it, though. The Nimble Ribbon, start of game, draw this. Because this is kind of a late game card, if anything. Here we have some more lifesteal. No longer really required, because we already have our Thorn lifesteal combo. But usually I really like this card. It's like usually 4 health you can restore. Just really good target for Hothead Trinket as well. We see it here. This is yeah, Relentless Trample. So it copies itself and then it revives itself. So it just can keep dying basically. And some trample damage. Kerbo Soup turns an expensive minion into a Shrub Rex, which is a 10/10. Also a funny card. It only costs us 1 mana, but also we barely have any targets for it. This is gonna be basically weaker if we play it. Admiral Brass, I guess, would be target for that. So yeah, usually I would like this pack, but we don't really need it. This pack, if we were going pirates, I would pick up, although kind of an unfortunate collection of trinkets on the Wigbeak. I mean, the Nimble Ribbon is okay, but yeah, I don't really want Rigby's to be more expensive because you don't play the Rigby for stats, you play it for value. But yeah, I really like this one. Another copy of Quickspot Archer, so we have a good card for Vanguard Tactician to buff. A really good Ironbark Marksman, and I'm just gonna remove this card because again, I start of game draw this. I don't want my first draw to be a card that doesn't do anything until the end game. So we will see another relic. Start of turn at 2 cinders and monkeys for your hand. Oh, that's alright. I don't know if we can. So whenever you pick up a relic or a card that generates other minions, it's always good to have an actual copy of that minion in the deck, because if you buff it with trinkets, then the generated copies will also gain that buff. I don't know though if we can see any cinders with monkeys, because even though we are in the red faction, cinders and monkeys are a cannon related minion, and we don't have any entry into the cannon build right now. If we picked up that Rigby supply, which adds a Rigby and a cannon, we would have, but it's still an okay relic. Just gives you some guaranteed 1/1s, gives you a way to clear out early minions, especially in the daily, if you want to avoid early chip damage. But nothing too hot, even though it says hotter than it. Coral Ocarina, very good for like a rush down type of deck. Just play all of your cheap minions, redraw your hand. Although I haven't actually used it that often, just don't usually pick up draw cards because I don't rely on finding this relic, so almost never see its effect, but I can definitely see its use. Once per turn, after you play a Sprout Elf that costs 3 or more, draw a Sprout Elf. So let's see. This one would be 2 usually. This one would be 3. This one would be 3. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for that one. We can play this for 4 if we play another green card first, and then we might be able to draw into our core quicker, or the Ironbark Marksman, which is also now a really good card to have. So let's do that. We will see a shop. And interesting. So shops have been changed in the most recent update as well. They added a lot of cards unique to the shop, a lot of cards which I really like. For example, Gyreek, just really strong. 7 mana, base 4, I believe. Has +3/+3 for each faction you have in your deck. We have green and red, so +6. And it has Flux and Lifesteal. Flux doesn't matter for 90% of decks, because it only matters if you have discard. But yeah, Lifesteal and a really big soul spread as well. Wild Aces, deal 3 pyro damage for 2 mana, okay-ish spell, but the important effect is here. Plunder, shuffle this into your deck, and all copies are upgraded for the rest of the run. The upgrade is +1 damage, so each time you kill something, plunder means you kill something with that, it gets stronger. Actually, a really strong card that you can buff up into the stratosphere. If you deliberately stall out a fight and just try to kill every single minion with Wild Aces, you can get it up to like 20 damage or more before you reach the first boss, and then you can just start killing the boss with that immediately. Don't know how good that strategy is in daily, because you probably take some damage in the process. But even so, just some added spaceline and some good removal that shuffles itself back into the deck to remove more cards later on. And we are still early-ish. I mean, we have, I think, one more fight before the boss, and then the boss, before the mini-boss, and the mini-boss fight, and then the entire second half. So we should be able to get some upgrades out of it. And removal is good to have in the daily. Then devour a minion, gain armor equal to itself. So just straight up removal without any kind of damage requirement. Like, as in, like, it doesn't matter how much health the enemy has, you just kill it. You also gain some armor, so I really like all of these 3 shop cards. I don't know if I will pick up all of them, but definitely all of these are a consideration. Then for pirate cards, damn, that's quickly Cutlass Wine. So you definitely could have gone for pirates in this game. Just these are 2 core cards you wanna use on every single Admiral Brass pirate run. And we have, yeah, so this is the minion I was talking about earlier. Before attacking, gain power equal to the thorns of the friendly minion in front of this until next turn. So if you combine this with the thorn trinket that we have on the Buccaneer, then this is a 4/1 minion for 3 mana with Archer, with a jump blocker in front of it, so it doesn't die on while it has summoning sickness. Pretty cool. But since we already had that event, we can't get that trinket anymore, and otherwise we do not have any like big thorns minions other than core, which is our game finisher, so probably not worth picking that up. However, I do like the Fiery Deadeye. For us, it's 2 mana for 1 with Hothead, so some immediate removal. Can be powered up by core to be an 8/1. So I like this. Yeah, I don't think Rig B is worth it anymore. Like, we might play some pirates here or there, just for support, like those Buccaneers, or the extra Thorn Wall, maybe some Brown Tooth for some card advantage. But otherwise, I don't really need Rig B. Cutlass Wine, also not immediately necessary. If we get like any type of damage upgrades, I think we have enough candidates that would want to take that. Like if we get the +1 power trinket, we would want to put that on Quicksprout Archer. Flight. We don't need Flight or Trample with all of these Archer minions, because another effect I didn't actually mention with Archer that is really good, though, is that it also gives you that sort of trample effect. It says here, right here, access hits the next target. So, yeah. And I think for epic trinkets, if we gain double stats, we would also put that on core. That would be like incredibly ridiculous. Overgrow, we might put that on Ironbark Marksman. So most buffs that I wanna put on Cutlass Wine already have another target. This is one of the considerations I make when I add a card, like what other types of trinkets I could see, and where do I want to put them. And the base cards itself, 3 mana for damage, isn't really convincing when I have those incredibly cheap green minions over here. So, not gonna take any of those cards. I think I will take the Fiery Deadeye. I think I will remove the Admiral Brass. Just kind of 5 mana brick that we don't need. We're not getting much from him if we play like 2 Buccaneers that get +1 power. That's not really our game plan, so away with you. I think I will keep the plated run. Could remove him, but again, the extra armor might be nice. Do we pick up another quick spot archer? We don't have any buffs yet. We are not guaranteed to see any buffs, and we already have some very good archer minions. Reason to consider picking one up is so we have a minion that can trigger militia horn, but fiery deadeye, which we just picked up, will do that as well. And we might see some other in-card rewards, so I don't think I will pick that. And I think I might just take all 3 of those. 10-10 lifesteal is a good way to, like, if we get hit hard by the boss, lose a bunch of health, this is a good way to get back to full. And it is some kind of a win con. So, and Wild Aces, just lots of opportunities to scale it up. Just some straight up removal and sustainability is good as well. Do I want to remove anything else? I could remove the sea shanties. Yeah. The density of pirates is getting kind of low, so a lot of the time sea shanty will not actually have the draw 2 effect. And we are planning on removing the brown 2s at some point as well. So I think I'll spend another 120 to burn those. And I think that's it for this shop. So I guess I do not have another fight. But that's okay. Then we are fighting Chart Chunker. Yeah, it might be unpleasant because he's gonna scorch all of our tiles, which deal 1 damage to any minion play on the scorch tile. And a lot of our archer minions do have low health. This would immediately die. This will lose its barrier. This one would die. This one would die. So. But we can soak up some of those scorch tiles with the Buccaneers as well, so you guys are covered with that. Hot slime. That's some burn damage, some damage to our face. So luckily we have some a good amount of sustain. He doesn't have many of those, so should be able to out heal anything he does with the hot slime. Scorching whirlwind. Some might be unpleasant because it's just a board clear. A lot of our minions do die to this. Some targeted move as well. Let's see. I think it's doable. Once we get a legendary minion, or even just Jairik. And we'd only have to chew through hit 15 health. So. I think I'm not gonna keep the consume. We did just see that he doesn't have that many chunky minions. I guess we can have those 2. I think I want to dig for my win conditions, and then I'm gonna keep the Buccaneer as some early block and something to take some of the scorch tiles. I don't think I want to play anything. Like, I don't just want to expose Vanguard Tactician to damage and have it prematurely die. It can buff up the Fiery Deadeye, which we can plant. So, yeah, we do that. Or I could try to keep the Fiery Deadeye until we can play it for 4 mana to draw a Sprout minion instead. I think I'm gonna do that, actually. And instead, I will block this with a Buccaneer. And then we will take some face damage, but because we have the Buccaneer, we have to worry about that. We have a bunch of Buccaneers, actually, so you will easily be able to heal back anything you take. Okay, didn't do anything. So yeah, now we can have our marksman keep this lane clear. We'll get some armor. Fortunately, didn't play anything in this lane where are thorns. Heal us up. Well, we get our first wild aces. That's good. So I will play a Buccaneer over here so that he attacks into these thorns and heals us if he doesn't clear it out with a charged chunker, which he might. We might not be able to get out of this fight with 12 health, just to be clear. But we scale our pyro. I think I'm willing to just clear this Scourge with this. It's unfortunate. It clears the board. We immediately redrew our wild aces. So, can't really play them right now though, because I want both of these Scorchlings to hit into Thorn Barrier. And he draws another one of those. That's unfortunate. And now our entire board is scorched. So, guess we scale our Pyro Aces. We play the Vanguard Tactician. Oh, that's interesting. So it might be a visual bug, but it seems that we clear out the Scourge and keep the barrier. Again, I'm mentioning that it might be a visual bug because it sometimes happens that you lose a barrier and it just keeps showing you the card as if it has barrier. But let's see. That might be an interesting interaction. I'm just learning about. If you play a barrier minion on a Scourge tile, you soak the Scourge and you still keep the mirror. So we draw a Sprout Elf. That's not what I wanted to see. However, we do have a way to play our Fiery Deadeye now. Okay, so yeah, it was just a visual bug. That is... So... let's clear some Scourge and... clear some Scourge and play... So it doesn't look like we're getting full health, and we might not even get overkill. Kind of running out of cards. And yeah, right, the bombs. I forgot about the bombs. And the enemy only has 3 health, so we should definitely win that fight. But not exactly happy about how it went down. At this point, I don't really want to take more chip damage if I have to. It seems like I have to. Yeah, really appreciate a Gyric. really getting punished for not removing those 1/1s as well. So I guess the relic was a mistake after all. 1 HP, perfect amount of HP for the enemy to have. You wanna go for a big overkill? Ah, yeah, there's our Jarvik. So you have the 14 more cards, but we will get a bomb every turn, so the odds aren't that high that we draw a core. So I guess we just get our Jarvik. Filter 4. Oh, we do get it. That's cool. So now we should be able to get overkill, and yeah, he cannot. Can he one-shot core? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Scorch tiles on the board, so he has one more charged chunker. So if he draws that charged chunker, then core dies, and we will not get our overkill, but let's see, he does not get it. Okay, that's very good. We even get another wild ace scale, so that close one. And we did get our 2 combo multipliers, all thanks to our card. Our super buff card with lifesteal and US stats. Alright, some interesting options. Ooh, we have Cutlass Swine again. This time with double stats for extra cost. So, again, if you went Pirates in this daily, then congrats. That also would have been a very good run. We can have Plated Grunt with area, so if we just really want to annoy the enemy into not being able to break through. Otherwise, another Fiery Deadeye. A Marsh for the Archer, so entry into some poison as well. Not really interested in that though. And Sprout Brambleguard. Interesting, with some extra power. So, I can't look at my entire deck, unfortunately. That's a bug I want them to fix. Like, at this point on the screen, it should show you your entire deck. It usually does, but instead we see the deck as it was during the battle. The thing I wanted to check is how many cards without trinkets we have, because you get a bonus for the first point bonus for the first trinket you put on a card. It's called Fresh Fortification. So this would going to like decide whether I pick up a Marshfellow Archer to have more targets for that bonus or not. So I am leaning towards the middle bundle. Left bundle is also fine. I mean, we get a Wrath effect as well, even with a little discount on it. If we couldn't have buffed the Plated Grunt, we did took for and get those two. But if it got Trample, that would have been a funny bonus. But Fiery Deadeye is just more removal, more power, more ways to fish for our legendary minion. This is kind of interesting. Some nice defense. I am realizing that the boss we are fighting is actually kind of a counter to our whole archer thing. Just because he can steal minions in the front row, and archers want to use the front row a lot. But we'll get to it. So, I think I'm just gonna pick this. And we can pick up some more points at this speed. We do have a path where we go over 2 more events, which are a good point bonus. I would like to pick up some trinkets too, but I guess we do have a trinket shop right here. And we kept all of our rerolls, which also act as a restock in a trinket shop. If you buy 2 trinkets and then reroll, you will see 3 more trinkets. And I guess we have 1 campfire over here. Exactly 1 more relic node. Yeah, I think I'm content with taking this path, optimizing for points by going to more events. 2 campfires would have been nice, but 1 is fine too. We do get a trinket shop, we do get our last relic. If the opponent plays the first minion in a turn, deal 1 damage to it. I do wonder how that interacts with there's 1 particular minion he plays, which I believe is a 1/1 that steals the front row minion. If that goes, if the Swift Dagger goes off before the minion triggers, that would actually be a pretty nice way to counter that. So, yeah, I am kind of curious. However, we also have Rumble Ring. Start of game, redeem 2 fist cards. Really good with what we have going on. So, fist cards, you can choose 3. Either some removal and some scorch for potential removal for any follow-up minions, some removal with trample. But what we are really interested in is this freezy minion. If it's already frozen, deal 2 frost damage to it. That's not the important part. The important part is freeze minion, which if a minion is frozen, they will receive double damage. And I know that I'm not seeing my deck here, but with all our archer minions that have an inbuilt trample effect, that is really good, because like our core deals 60 damage, but if there is a minion in front of it, we can use our frost fists to freeze that minion and deal 32 damage to it instead, which will definitely kill the minion, but then absolutely blast the boss behind it. So we can just pick up 2 frost fists in the beginning and wait until we have our big combo. Usually there's a bit of a danger that it clutters the hand if we're going for like a lot of draw, which would have happened if we went for the pirate synergy. But well, as we just saw, we're not really drawing that many cards. Like in hindsight, that Ocarina we just saw before would have been a pretty nice pickup as well. The 4 extra draw is probably more than the Militia Horn will provide over the turn of the game. Although the Militia Horn is more targeted as well, so kind of trade-offs there. But yeah. Curious about the Swift Dagger, but Rumble Fist is just really, really good. This here is whatever. It nerfs our wild aces, but it doesn't really matter anymore because our wild aces are already very strong. The opponent doesn't really have a lot of damage spells, I think. Like, he does have frost spells, but Yeah, I guess he does have like this one here. 3 frost damage to frozen minions. But nerfing that by 1 is really gonna do much for us because okay, I'm gonna leave and re-enter the game real quick because I'm really annoyed that I can't look at my deck. Alright, I am back in the game. Let's look at our deck. Right, now we see everything. So, yeah. As I was just saying, nerfing frost damage by 1 wouldn't do anything because instead of dealing 6 damage, that particular spell deals 4, which still kills most of our minions. I guess it means that this one survives because that's tough. Only have 1 copy of that. Zyriek survives out of the way. I guess core. It makes a difference for core. If we can get it, then I really want to put Hothead on core. Like, we should definitely try to fish for that at this Tinker Shop. So our options are plus 100 gold or restore max HP. Well, we are fully healed, so this does nothing. Other. Okay, so there's options for humorous and intelligent, but not really good ones. Like max HP doesn't really matter most of the time, and having some 1/1s without any abilities isn't really doing much either. Like, main reason why you want to do this is if you want to enter into another faction and see green cards. If you have some spare campfires where you have nothing else to copy and remove, so you can remove the Sprouthlings, pick some other green cards, and then, like, maybe if you have Zyriek, or a couple of Zyrieks, and do not have green in the deck, this is a way to buff Zyriek, but kind of niche, that option. So, yeah, probably if you're gonna go to this event, you want to have adventurers in your party to gain an extra 100 gold. So, good thing we have that. Kaboomkin. Ooh, that's... yeah. That might be painful. So this guy, what this guy does is he plays a bunch of those Kaboomkins, which, as a death rattle, buffs his rockets, and rockets basically have a bunch of both burn and removal power once they get scaled up, because their death rattle is that they deal damage equal to their power randomly split among minions, and then it also has booster bot, which is just a very good way to kill enemy minions. That might be a tough fight. I have definitely lost to this one a couple of times, and staying flawless might also be kind of difficult at this one. So it's not really gonna play a lot of high health minions. Maybe I should have looked at the enemies we're pathing into, because this consume isn't really doing much. I mean, it's gonna do a lot against the boss, I suppose. But pick 2 frost cards. So I want to be able to play this for. It's kind of interesting how, because of the militia horn, you wanna circumvent the Sly Gloves effect as much as possible. But yeah, funny how that works. Or in general, I just wanna keep this for later, because we don't have a powerful archer in our hand yet. I could go for Vanguard Tactician, Sprout's Veil Archer. None of these can cost 3, so they can trigger Militia 1. I think it's an okay start. Keeps our coin as well. There's the first rockets. Gonna see a lot more of those. Yeah, I don't know if I wanna... I guess I wanna kill that rocket before it scales up. Also, I just realized that this having thorns means it has lifesteal as well, so good thing I picked that up. I'm gonna spend our coin here. We don't really have any high mana cards we're saving up for right now. Yeah, that's what the rockets do. So now we have something worth Sprout Bramble guarding. But instead I'm gonna... So we kinda want to... 4 and 2. We kind of want to play this at combo at 6. So let's get some wild aces. Let's rocket the rocket. We are very lucky that he is drawing all of his rockets before he's drawing the kaboom pins. This fight can look very different if this all happens the other way around. Have a Gyric, that is some very very nice insurance. We can clear out all of these minions. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play one of my Frost Fists. Or actually, if I do that, does that kill already? It would kill, right? Because then this is 8. This deals 2, 6 goes through, and then this... I don't want to kill yet. Reason why I wanted to spend the Frost Fist is so that the Fiery Deadeye costs 4, and we can draw into our more expensive cards. I guess instead I'll do that. I wanna be greedy here and try to fish for the overkill, just because we worked up such a lead, and I guess we can consume this now. Having tough on the board also really helps against those rockets, because they just soak damage. All of the rocket damage is dealt in as like 1 damage point, so if it hits the tough minions, they don't take any damage. So we are killing as it stands. We're not getting overkill. Can we like freeze? This only triggers at combat start. At most we can remove 1 of our minions, which is not enough to stop lethal. So I guess best we can do is like these and at least get a couple of overkill points for extra points. At least we get the flawless. So we got a lot of ring rose peppers. Not really what I want to see. All red cards, so no discounts on those ones. Some wrath. I think it's okay to have a shipwreck in tow at least, because the enemy might come up with some very big and scary minions that scale up by a lot. And he might do that several times, so I'm actually gonna take 2 shipwrecks. Not what I would have hoped for, but it might come in handy. So we have 3 options. We can look at the trinket shop. Trinkets at this event is there is a ramping trinket for legendary minions. Don't really have a good target for that. Only legendary minion. Actually, we have 2 now, but giving this one ramp doesn't really do anything, because once we're at 7 mana, we're basically done. Like, we're not going to need any more. And this one really wants the 3rd trinket. We only have 3 trinket spaces for Hothead, so that he can immediately attack. Otherwise, he might get removed before he gets the chance to do so. There's one that buffs your other minions by 1. That one might be okay for something like Brown Tooth, maybe. And I don't remember the 3rd one. I think the 3rd one might be a damage buff for spells, maybe. We have the option to get a free trinket or max HP. So I'm not interested in a ramp trinket. The buff trinket is quite alright. We do have a lot of money saved up though, so I shouldn't be afraid to spend one here. And we want to get the fresh fortifications for as many minions as possible, so let's look at the trinket shop. Yeah, it's plus 3 damage. Do you have any targets for that? It's legendary and this is uncommon. You can no longer select ultimates. I'm pretty sure there was some point in the game where you could do that. So yeah, I guess the free trinket would have been the correct choice, but it shouldn't matter. So this does make the minions more expensive, but it might be a good idea to put this on a 4-cost minion. To make it 5 cost, and then 3 with the discount, so it tricks the militia horn. Although most likely we're not gonna play Fiery Dead Eye while we have a lot of minions on the board. Vanguard Tactician might be an interesting option, because you usually play Vanguard Tactician when there's another archer to support. I think I like that, actually. Only other trinket that I would want for the Vanguard Tactician is inanimate. Make it so that it doesn't attack on its turn, so it survives for longer. but we're not guaranteed to see it, and that's probably something we can get back to. Like we might just slap it onto the plated ground to make it a better blocker, but yeah, sure. Also makes it a 3 cost, so if we play like a 0 cost Sprouts Sphere Archer and a Vanguard Tactician, the Vanguard Tactician is triggering additional. Yeah, I like that. Custard coin. Again. This doesn't do anything. I mean, I guess it gets point bonus, but I'd rather put a useful trinket on it. Yes, we don't have so many minions that we're gonna exhaust our we're not gonna exhaust our flash fortification targets. So let's leave, go to the trinket shop. Interesting. So we have to keep in mind, if we buy all 3 trinkets, we are automatically leaving the trinket shop. So if we want to use our rerolls as restock, which I intend to do, then we only have 2 trinkets per rotation, basically. Plus 3 health might be pretty good on core, or just so he's more likely to survive through the round where we can activate it. I do prefer holding out on Hothead though. Like if this, we still have 3 rerolls, so we are still quite likely to see Hothead. If we already spent a couple of rerolls, then I probably would pick this. But as is, I think I like +1 power for dual strike. Other than that, yeah, that makes sense to me. It's common, so it can't get any other good relics, really. Trinkets, I mean. Barrier is pretty good for a lot of these minions, just because they are so frail, so to at least protect them against one spell. I think I might pick the Deadeye. In terms of offensive capability, it already has all at once, like Hothead, a lot of power, just some extra survivability. It's fine by me. And there it is. Hothead. So now it can really pop off. If we keep a Frostfest till the end, then we can... Like, we will have to wait until 7 mana, because we want to play the freeze first, which will be which will use up the discount from Sly Gloves, and then core. But I think it's worth it, because again, this is so 8 base damage, then gets doubled by although I didn't realize this is combat start, so this doesn't double until he can actually like, it's still good to clear out the lane and get in some chip damage. I might prefer Rush, actually. Like, yeah, Rush would be really good, because then we would get the double power from his ability. Otherwise, Barrier shows its face again. Barrier is very good alternative to keep it alive through Summoning Sickness. hoping for Hothead is one thing, hoping for Rush is a bit more iffy, because it's a rare trinket. But we might see Barrier or another survivability trinket again, so maybe I skip out on it again. What else likes Hothead? Ooh, Jai really likes Hothead. Just immediately get that lifesteal. Yeah. So like this. There again, we can make this like into a super blocker. Although Barrier doesn't actually do that much for additional block, because like we place it, it absorbs a hit with Barrier, and then on the next turn it runs into the enemy and dies and revives. And if it didn't have Barrier, it would have well, absorbed the hit and revive. I guess it does make it live for one more enemy phase. But yeah, we don't really want this to have Barrier because we want this to die. But maybe we want to put +1 power on something instead. It seems we are getting one campfire. So question is, are we gonna remove the archer as we planned? Because if we are, then it's not really worth putting a trinket on it. In terms of fresh fortification bonuses, we have 1, 2, 3 minions, the rest are spells. Guess I do want the fresh fortifications on all of them. Yeah, but I might want to use the campfire to close or core instead. So I'll get this. Oh yeah, other thing, Archer. Well, this is basically Archer without the trample, but also without the drawback, Swift Strike. That's probably the trinket we will skip out on this this selection of trinkets, just because all of our important minions basically have Swift Strike. Flying doesn't really matter because, well, similar effect like Swift Strike, don't take retaliation damage from minions, and also similar effect to Archer, that we hit the enemy hero because of the trample-like effect. So I guess those are two kind of useless effects. We want the plus draw on Brock. I guess there's only... well, there's 2 more minions. So I guess I'm gonna give round to either Flying or Swift Strike. Depends, do we want to go face or do we want to make sure that the board stays clear? Mm. 2 damage might not do that much in a lot of against a lot of minions that he plays. especially since he scales up his minions. Well, I guess now I like the Shiver Shades, I think, and the Shiverbone Slimes. But those are minions that I kind of don't want to kill. Like minions with death rattle effects. And yeah, going phase might help, like, for actually getting the super overkill. I might regret this, but I'm gonna opt for flying over Swift Strike. Very similar effects, but slightly different. Okay, so we do get a survivability trinket for core. So I guess we are not getting severely punished for skipping 2 barriers. Barrier might be better than +2 health. But +2 health should be okay. And yeah. Draw a card. We could. The first instinct is Serene Herb, because it already draws 1, so we can make it draw 2. But we only have 1 copy of it in the deck. However, Wild Aces will keep shuffling itself back into the deck, so we might see it several times. And getting it some extra draw is pretty nice effect. I think this is strong. Then we give flying to the only minion that doesn't have a trinket yet to get the last fortification bonus. So now we have 2 flying minions. And this will be an interesting test. Like, those 2 enemies are very similar in terms of what they do. There is some overlap, like both have Rainbows and Shiverbone Slimes. They have the same like here. So this is a good litmus test for how we do against the boss. Right. I think so. I think I'm just gonna. Well, I'm gonna keep this for card advantage and to have a cheap minion to play, but other than that, I kind of wanna maximize the odds of getting a big minion. Hey, and Serene Herb really hasn't shown up much. Well, we only have been offered 1 of them, so not surprising. Hey, there he is. Okay, so now we just basically stall. And play this, I suppose. Ah, very cool. So, the reason why I was hesitant is we didn't have an archer to put behind us, but now we do. So now when the Rainbow attacks, we can make our archer attack, which will preserve the health of this minion. There's a Shiverbone Slime. Next turn we are already ready to play core. Which means I might want to put Vanguard Tactician into play. Although I'll probably want to do that on the turn core attacks, just to guarantee the buff before this has a chance to be killed by a removal spell, of which he has a lot of. Dann so I can place one Buccaneer before my board is too cluttered. Okay, cool. Do I play core already? Right now, if he's doing 16, he's killing. So maybe I wanna get some more minions on the board. Ouch. Should be okay. This has lifesteal after all. I will place down a Fiery Deadeye, which will give Core another thing to buff. Okay. He doesn't do much. So we can play Core. He should survive in most cases. I think he does have some. Like he has a redeem spell, and he might have redeemed the spell to insta destroy any frozen minion. If he has that, then it's kind of shit out of luck. But if not, then we should be fine. The only thing I'm worried about is that the enemy might die too quickly for us to trigger. Or lifesteal? Is that a thing? So this deals 2. This deals 8. Okay, that does. Actually, if we play the Vampire Tactician, which we do want to do, that would be. I'm still not sure how those start, but let's assume this +2 does get multiplied. Then that would be goes to. Well, no, but the Vampire Tactician is kind of cool, of course, so we don't have to worry about that. So we play this. This is a 3/2 then, so we'll get buffed to 6. So this deals 4, then this deals 8. Doesn't kill. So this does get a chance to trigger lifesteal. Okay, very good. I think we're good. Anything? If I freeze it, do I still get the Thorn lifesteal? Like, I can freeze it twice to overkill. And this would do 12 instead, so this would deal 10, and this would deal 10, and we don't get the Thorn's lifesteal now. Okay, so if we want Flawless, we do not freeze it. Do we get the overkill? I didn't actually look at that, but this is 20. This, yeah, we definitely do. So, guess I'll just play Empire Minion for fun. Oh, oh no. I forgot that the... Ah, damn it. The Buccaneer... We should have actually killed the Buccaneer with the 2 freeze fists. I didn't realize the Buccaneer was active. Lost one combo multiplier there, that's a bummer, but okay. Interesting. We get... Wow, really showing us a lot of Cutlass ones, huh? Petal Mage might be interesting. Some more sustain. Some more ramp. I like this as well as a removal. Sure. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick the full bundle here. Dual Strike is not much because just 2 damage, but I guess it's something. If we buff it with Vanguard, it's 3 times 2. But yeah, I think I'm gonna opt for the second core. We have a bounce. Melody Cannon. Melody Cannon can also be really interesting if you get to buff its damage, because it multiplies the buff. But we're not that heavy on spells, and we no longer have the opportunity to see more trinkets. Bounce is a bit iffy, because it doesn't remove the buffs that the enemy will have. I could rather draw one of the removed spells, like this. Plate and Death triggers twice. On 5. So, only these 2 to consider. So, not really that good either. Maybe we pick the bounce. This is okay, I think. Although, frontline minions aren't that good on this fight. Ooh. This might be interesting. This is another option for lifesteal. Yes, this. Same selection as last shop. Okay. Yeah, I will pick this. Not useful without any buffs, really. Not gonna be able to use that one a lot because our frontline is restricted. So, question is, do we pick bounce? Do we pick? And we can still take this as a block option. I think I do pick these just to get more points at this point. This is lifesteal and Digger. And I guess just for the point bonus I will pick this as well. Okay. So if we perfect this fight, we might be able to get to 40k. Okay, I like this. I like this. I think I'll place those. So yeah, draw 2. Ooh, some very nice ramp gun. We also have our hero immediately. So I will play that. And then do I just take the one? Because I don't wanna let him... Although I guess if he wastes steel on a 2-2, which also gives that a target for Frostfist, I'm actually fine if he steals the Fickle Root. Yeah. Totally fine with that. And then Pyro Ace. Take some damage. We're still at full health, so that's okay. Do we already play core? Yeah, I think let's try to end this before this the enemy can ramp up. Ooh, this is very nice. This gets us the big overkill, I think. Right, this is 16, 8, 24 right now. If we can Vanguard for 4 and then Priest Fest. Yeah, I think that's an easy W. Okay. Worried a lot about this boss fight, but we just had a really good draw on this one. So. And yeah, Bucket, join the party. You ruined my last perfect, but I forgive you. 22. And what? Yeah. Okay, interesting. Don't know what happened there. It didn't reduce the amount of health for some reason, but I think I got the overkill. I think it went from 7 to 9. So yeah, 6 souls. Nice. Yeah, I guess 40k was not possible even if we did manage to get that one combo point, so okay. I did record this just before the new daily comes out again, so I'm not gonna see where I rank on the leaderboards, but I guess I'll just have to record earlier next time. But let's see. Oh no, it's still active. We got second place, yeah. I did not expect to overtake that 50k, but just eking out the 38 over the 37. Cool. So that was it for this episode of Cross Blitz. I'll see you again for the next daily. Maybe I'll do one of the regular runs as well. If I do, I'll probably like pick some masks as well, just to spice it up a bit. Yeah. See you next time.